Hey y'all, welcome back to Chat with Coach Amy. Janelle, I'm gonna tell you, it's very weird when I say that because you're looking at me and I'm like just talking to people and not you.
Right.
It's so weird. Y'all, today we have Janelle. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. I get all nervous saying you guys' names because I just read them and I don't ever really say them that often, but then I'm like, did I say it right? Good. Hey, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank
She
you.
kind of was like, I don't know if we should do it. And I'm like, why not?
I know.
But I'm glad that you agreed because not everybody has a dramatic THM story.
Yeah.
They don't. I'll be honest. Mine really isn't that dramatic, except for that I've maintained for 5 years. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, and you lost, I feel like you lost a lot. I mean, 30 pounds, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. And I told my blooms, I think it was my blooms the other night, I was like, I had a lady, and lady, if you're listening, I'm not trying to be ugly, but she was like, I mean, I don't think I want a coach that only lost 30 pounds. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I didn't have 100 pounds to lose. I'd be dead.
Right. I must have watched the recording and heard that. I was like, I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
for me, it is. I'm pretty steady at 133, 135, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
For a 40-year-old girl.
Yeah.
With no girl parts and Hashimoto's. But that's okay, because you know what? There's over 200 coaches. She can go find her one that toots her horn. Glory to the Lord. All right. Well, Janelle, I'm glad you chose me, sis, because I think you're awesome.
I am too. I am too.
Oh, girl. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm 47 and I've been married about 20 years in November. We have 6 kids. My oldest is 18, so she's graduating this year. Mm-hmm. And my youngest just turned 4.
Whoa, dude.
Big spread. Big, nice spread. So, and we homeschool. And so we're actually doing a little bit of a hybrid this year, which has been great. I've had 2 days to myself. So right now everybody's there. So it's wonderful. And yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yeah. Very good. What state are y'all in?
Kansas. And I've lived here my whole life. We actually live right down this road from my parents. So that's nice. My husband grew up in Kansas. So we actually went to South Carolina and we drove through Tennessee. Is that where you're at?
I'm in Mississippi.
Oh, you're in Mississippi. I thought you were in Tennessee. So I was like, oh, my coach lives in this state, but okay, Mississippi. All right. So yeah.
I'm way down south.
Yes. Yeah. We did not go that direction.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I went to, we were in Tennessee for Thanksgiving though, in Gatlinburg. So we did do that. Yeah.
That was why you were there. Cause I was like, you went did you go camping?
We were in a cabin.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've been homeschooling. I haven't homeschooled the whole time. We've been homeschooling the last 5 years. So yeah.
Gotcha. Very good. All right. So how did you find Trim Help Be Mama?
So I actually found it on Pinterest, which is kind of interesting.
Really?
Yes. I'm not on Pinterest anymore, but at the time, and this was 6 years ago, I was looking through pens and I saw this pen that said S and E and separating fuels. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And my second youngest, Henry, he was 3. Yeah, he was 3. And normally by then I would have lost all the weight, but I hadn't. Mm-hmm. And I was done nursing. I was like, I've got to try something because nothing's really everything I was doing wasn't working. So I ordered the book and just kind of started separating my meals and lost a pound. I think I usually just weigh myself once a month. So I lost a pound in a month. And I mean, that's the first time I'd seen the scale actually go down. Right. You know, it would go up a little and stay the same, but to actually go down, I was very encouraged. And I just I did a lot of S meals. Like E meals didn't fill me up. I loved the desserts and kind of it took about a year and I got back to where I was before I got pregnant with Henry. So, and I was great with that. And I mean, a year seems like a long time, but when the scale's going down every month, I was like, my clothes are fitting better. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. And when was that?
Well, that was 6 years ago. And then
Okay.
I got pregnant with my youngest, Francie, and I get real sick when I'm pregnant. So I'm sure I gained the usual amount. I don't really weigh myself when I'm pregnant because it's just not fun. So, yeah.
True.
And then,
True.
yeah, I'm like, I don't want to see everything. Yeah. So worth it, but just not fun. So after I had her, kind of the same thing, like around 3, I was still about 10 pounds away.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I was doing THM, what I thought was THM. So I was older. I was whatever. She's 4 now. So a year ago, 46. And it wasn't working. Like the S meals weren't working. And I was like, I'm going to be the same weight in a year unless I figure this out.
Yeah.
And so, and I actually had thought about getting a coach earlier. I was talking to my husband about it, and he's like, before we go there, let me just ask you how many tater tots you had of the kids' meals. And I was like, right, maybe I need to
Darned.
clean it up a little bit before we do any more. So I did, like, I stopped, taking those bites or
Yes.
whatever, because it's never a full meal. It's just the little bites all day long.
Yeah. My client Tara calls those naughty nibbles.
Yeah, and they just it didn't work. I think I could do it before, but it wasn't working this time. And then I still wasn't really. I was like, I've got to get a coach, and I think I came across just something on Facebook, and it was within my means to do it. It wasn't very much, and I was like, it was your November butts, and so I signed up for that, and then the scale has consistently gone down, except for the last 2 months, and that's why I was like, maybe we should wait. But
And I was like, oh no, girl. No.
I know.
We're going to talk about all that.
I know. So
I love it. And those of you that are listening on the podcast, y'all need to go over to YouTube and watch this because Janelle is gorgeous.
Oh, you're
like,
so
you really
sweet.
are. I know I already told you that, but I'm going to say it again.
Thank you.
Your eyes are, you're just beautiful. I love it.
Well, I put on some makeup for it today.
I
so
understand.
That's probably healthy.
Yes. I don't know. I think you're pretty.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Well, thanks for sharing that with me. And I'm so glad you chose me for sure.
Oh, yes.
So talk to us a little bit about buds. Like, what about it? Because I get a lot of people, they're like, well, I've been doing THM for 8 years. I don't need to do buds. And I'm like, look, y'all probably heard me say this. I'm not being ugly. But if you think you need a coach and you've been doing THM for 7 years, just do buds and hush your mouth and see if you can learn a little something. Because there's something in there that has not sunk in or the switch hadn't flipped quite yet. And I bet you'll find it in buds. I bet you will.
Well, and I thought, I think what I was doing, it was winging it.
Yeah.
Just kind of going with it. And you're very intentional. You've got your tracking, which is like, that's a game changer. But then something else you said was, if you aren't eating every 3 to 4 hours, you're not on plan. And I was like, whoa, because I would separate my stuff, but that I would go long periods or I'd go too short. And that was huge.
Right. So if you're going too long, you're not helping your metabolism at all, which is how you burn fuel and fat in your body. And then if you're going too short of a span, you're constantly fueling. So you're grazing. So your body doesn't have time to digest and rest.
Yeah.
Good girl.
Yeah. It was huge. And I think that was just, you're very intentional about, you didn't I think the reason why you probably lost 30 pounds is you had a plan and you didn't wing it. And all your planning has now created buds and blooms because it's amazing. It is not what I read in the books. Like, this is like, you took it and kind of put it in a structured way, which my personality really works with.
Yeah.
Very well. So
thanks. That's so sweet.
It's amazing. Like, I'll have a question and I'm like, I know that information is out there somewhere, but I don't know where. So I like how you ask, do you have questions in between sessions? And you get back right away, and it's just great.
Yeah. I got a few I'm going to answer when I go get my hair done in a minute.
Yeah. And I can't believe you're able to, it's just mind blowing that you're able to.
Girl, it's time blocking. Coach Charlotte led the way on that for me. Bless her bones. Time blocking. Block out chunks of time for certain things. And that's what you do then. You don't do anything else. but that then.
Oh,
Yes.
I like that.
That's how I live my life.
That's
Honey,
great.
if it's not on my Google Calendar, it doesn't exist. It just doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
Very good. So what does your typical day look like now since you've learned all those things and put them in place as you're going throughout?
So one of the things you kept saying on my tracking sheets over and over and over is to fuel within an hour of waking. And I just don't like to eat, and I just don't want to. I don't know. I like to have my coffee. And so I started doing just a trimmy light. And so I got the fuel pull in, and then miraculously, you know, I am hungry after that. So then I'll usually have an E, just like the Ezekiel cereal on yogurt with blackberries is really what I do. Yeah. But just usually I'll do an E after that, a shake, something. And it's like an hour to an hour and a half. I'm just going to turn this off. Sorry. And then I'll have usually an S for lunch, unless I did an S earlier, which I normally don't. And then I'll do an S for dinner, and I'm trying to add E's in for dinner, but usually an S for lunch. Then I'm trying to shake the end up a little bit. And I don't really do those GGMSs as much as I used to. Like today I did one because my E lunch was didn't have enough protein in it, so I just did that, and I kind of forgot I could do that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
so
hey,
did you put some collagen in your GGMS?
I did.
Yeah.
And
didn't hurt nothing, did it?
I did it. Like it wasn't that big of a deal, you know? Yeah, I was like, look at me. So, and then I have my tracking sheet up on my fridge. So I just kind of write it down, and yeah. And my favorite, I guess one of my favorite S meals, when you said you were doing the YouTube of, is it Rashida, is the beef and veggie skillet. I love that one. Yeah. It's delicious. So that's one of my favorite S's right now. And I like the carrot cake. Oh,
oatmeal?
Those
carrot cake oatmeal or the carrot cake?
Oh, the carrot. Well, I put them in muffins.
Yeah. Oh, her carrot cake. Yes.
Yeah. Those are crazy good.
Yeah, they are. That icing is to die for.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it's not. Yeah, it's great. And I'm not sure.
On plan and good for you.
Yes. And then my E, like I really like the peanut butter, the real deal peanut butter.
Yeah, Coach Canada. Yeah, girl.
On just some on-plan bread or whatever. But I need to improve on like E meals and fuel pulls. I might join, if your fuel pull class hasn't passed, that's kind of on my radar to do that.
It is I think on the 11th. Oh, good. See? So no, you haven't missed it.
Great.
And since you're a group client, remember you get half price.
I know. I saw that. I know. Horrible. I was like, look at that. Awesome.
So are you who asked about more Trim Healthy Future recipes on YouTube? Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, girl, I already got 16.
And
you were like, oh.
I didn't know how often. I didn't know if this was a new thing and you were going to do them more often, or if it was already ongoing. And I've actually watched several of them. I just didn't know I was watching them.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. I was telling speaking of Zoom classes, I was talking to them last night about that because they're like, it's just so great to watch somebody do THM recipes. And there's a lot of people that do THM stuff on YouTube. I'm definitely not the only one. But I do have them organized by cookbook and fuel and meal type. Yeah. And when I say I mean my admin, Cindy, who's amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So it's organized for easy stuff. So just go to the playlist and you can look through all that. That's great.
Go to playlist on your YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah. So does your family follow THM at all?
They do, but they do a lot of like, so that's what I cook is THM. So they'll eat that, but then they eat all their other stuff too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's pretty typical.
Yeah. And especially like for the people that like it, like my desserts, I'm like, you can't eat these if you're going to eat the other stuff, because this is my thing. So
that's right.
But yeah.
I totally agree. I'm like, back off of my stuff. You know, like I can make 2 pans of overnight cinnamon squares and they're gone in a day. And I'm like, y'all, look, if you're going to eat cinnamon toast crunch, you cannot have my overnight cinnamon squares. I'm sorry. It's not right. That is wrong.
It is, because I can't have cinnamon toast crunch, right? So I'm like, look, you've got to, You got to work with me here. I mean, it makes me happy that they're doing it, but if they did it consistently.
Yes.
So
that's a hard thing to say because you want your people to be healthier, but at the same time, it's like, you're not helping me here.
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah. Well, but they will eat your meals that you make, right?
Yeah, they love them.
Good. Yeah, that's like, great. Mine too. My people too.
Yeah,
my people too. So you kind of talked about your tracking sheet. So I'm really glad you do that. That's awesome. Do you use a food journaling app also, or you just use the tracking sheet that I made?
So after this past month, when I weighed myself and I saw that it didn't go down, I was like, okay, we gotta hone this in. So I actually got that 8 app. Because at first I was like, this is crazy. It's $10 a month. That's a lot. Then I saw for the year it was like 50, which I still think is a lot. But I did the free trial and I was like, I see why people do this because it tells you exactly. Because I think I was eyeballing the what time I ate last. And so I was like, I think it's been 3 hours, or has it been 4? And it just, all I have to do is look at it. And it tells me exactly.
Girlfriend, I talk to my phone all day. You know, I say her name. I'm not going to do it right now because she'll be like talking to me. But I'll ask her to open 8 app because I have no clue what time I ate. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, do I need to eat now? You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's been an hour and a half. And I'm like, no, Amy, you're fine. Just keep working. And then sometimes it's like 3 hours and 44 minutes ago. So it's time for me to get up and go do something, you know, because I don't like going over 4 hours. I do sometimes because #real life, but it's great. Yeah. And she opens apps for me all the time. I don't even do it anymore.
I didn't know a phone could do that.
Yeah, mine does.
Okay. I need to ask my husband. He's the guy.
Do you have an iPhone?
I do, okay, but I don't know anything about it.
You need to get one of your teenagers to help you set up.
They'll totally know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I also like taking pictures because I was wondering, am I eating too much, too little? Like kind of, it is worth the money.
And look, there's a reminder app on there, a reminder button, excuse me. So on 8 app, you can click the little bell. It's in the top right corner, if I'm not mistaken, and you can set a reminder for 3 hours.
Oh,
that you need to eat again.
Oh, that's great.
Incredible.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, these are the things that I don't know, and that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and there was something else that I did that I was like, oh, I think I was because just recently I was like, you've got to start that fueling in the morning. Like, and I do notice at night, I'm not as hungry. I'm able to
fuel properly all day. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of doing what you say. Just not really that hard. It's just doing it, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I got y'all. Y'all just got to do it.
What?
I said, I've got y'all. Y'all just got to do it.
It really does, because all the information's there. You've given us all the tools. It's just a matter of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you, though. That's good. So you have such a big family.
Yes.
So do you write a meal plan? Like, do you know what you're doing for like the whole week? How do you do that?
I do. So, I got that. You know, it was you that you had something for your menu plan. Is this you? I think it is.
Yeah. We'll see.
I just copied everything that you do. Is this you? This was you, right? With the magnets. No?
Yes. It was in my Amazon storefront.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I got that.
Yeah.
And and I always did this on notebook paper, and then I couldn't find it, and then I'd forget what I have all this food. So this is on my fridge, and I just do it for the week. Yes.
Nice.
And then I put it in my purse and go to the store.
Off to the grocery you go.
Yes.
That's fabulous.
Tomorrow's
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Set yourself up for success, man. That's incredible. All right. So do y'all go out to eat very much?
We do, usually on Sunday we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we'll do Mexican.
How do you do there? How you doing?
Great. I usually just do a salad with grilled chicken. And I don't, so one time I think you said you allowed yourself to have some chips.
I do sometimes.
Okay, that doesn't work for me because I
tried
that.
Don't do it.
Yeah. The whole meal ended up being off plan. I was like, I can't do that yet. So I
maybe one day you can.
Maybe
And I mean, we go eat Mexican quite frequently. And so I do not do restaurant chips every time because that's not helpful to me. That's not beneficial.
Right.
But sometimes I do. Sometimes I take baked Tostitos. Yeah. Sometimes I'll take cut up sweet peppers and cucumbers for the queso. Okay.
Oh, that sounds
They don't good. Even look at you weird. They could care less. I mean, we're spending $1 bajillion, are we not, with our 9,000 kids?
Right.
They can just touch their mouth.
Right.
They aren't going to say nothing. So yeah, very good. Well, I mean, it's just some people can handle going off plan a little bit or more personal choice heavy, and some can't. And I think you just need to know where you stand and stick to something.
Yeah.
And, with your older kids and your husband, I'm sure, because bless, if he can tell you that you need to quit eating tater tots before you pay for coaching, y'all got to have a pretty good relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great. Very supportive. Yeah. He tries all my food and gets excited about it. And he was excited about the podcast. And
I love it. So did you see Wes is now on plan?
No.
He is for several weeks. It may be a month now. I don't know. He's lost probably 10 to 12 pounds, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like he's doing great. And actually yesterday morning, the boys offered him the biscuit that it was off-plan biscuit that they were eating and didn't want. He goes, Daddy, you can have it. And Wes said, no, it's not worth it. And I was like, you are client of the day.
That's awesome.
I was so proud.
Good for him.
He's doing very well and he's feeling a lot better. He was having a lot of things kind of go awry. He's almost 42 and things were hitting him hard.
Yes.
And so he's doing really good. I'm super proud of him. And I was telling him I've had in this week alone, I have had 2 either clients or followers message me about coaching their sons. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick to ladies.
Okay.
That's is different. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. There are husband definitely has, he's got stuff with extra weight and those kind of things. Mm-hmm. But
it takes time. I mean, it took Wes 5 years. So
okay. And you're a coach. I'm just kind of like, well, it's okay. I mean, it's kind of up to them. And I try to offer them my little stuff, but yeah. But so I know when he does it, he'll lose like 10 pounds in a month.
He will, and you'll want to hit him, but it's okay.
And I'm like, that's what it takes me a year to do that, but good for you. Good for you.
Good. I love you so much.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah. So today, I went live in the kitchen in Buds and Blooms, and I made no carb easy bread pizza and Coach JJ's peppers.
Okay.
And so I was like, lunch is ready. And
nice.
He's sitting there eating, and he said, can you go live in the kitchen every day at about 10:30? And I went, no. And all the girls went, no. Because it's not just going live and fixing something. I mean, there's so much that goes into filming.
I can't imagine.
And I don't even do an excellent
clean,
job at it.
Like just having it be clean alone, I'm like, wow. Not being interrupted, all that stuff.
Exactly. And Henry's going to bark and the mailman's going to show up, and it's just always the girls, bless them, they help me a lot, but they'll forget an ingredient and I have to go traipsing all over the house, and then I get aggravated and I take a lot of deep breaths. So it's not all of us answered with a resounding no once a week is perfect, because I used to do it twice a week. And one of my one-on-ones, she went, can I make a suggestion? And I was like, okay. But she said, why don't you just do Buds and Blooms together live in the kitchen? I mean, like really. And I'm like,
yeah,
I should. I just felt like I owed it to each of them to have their own. She goes, no, you don't. It's fine.
No, I think that's great. Yes. And I rarely can watch them live, but I do watch.
Most can't, but that's the most convenient time for our family house and schedule.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people asking about dinners. Why don't I go live at dinner? I went, what is it like at your house at dinner time? Heavens, no.
No way.
Absolutely not. And dinners take 45 minutes to an hour from start to finish. I am not going live that long.
No.
Y'all do not want to know all that.
No.
So unless it's a crock pot recipe, it's unlikely you will ever see something that's about dinner live.
Yes. It's just not, I agree.
Heavens. So do y'all have a lot of your kids like extracurriculars where you're out the house at pack practice and you get caught in town and stuff like that?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, we're pretty close to everything, and I try to just I usually just eat before I go do something. If it's on my, like today before this, I was like, okay, I don't want to eat on camera. So I just kind of ate. It was right at 3 hours. So in that 8 app again, like before, I think I would do that and you would make comments like way too long of a space there. I'm like, yeah, I was gone. So, and I think one of your videos, someone asked a question about it and you said, you'll have just a fuel pull something on the way. And I'm like, that's a great idea. So yeah, I just try to.
It won't make you cross over, but it'll be just enough protein to keep your metabolism happy and your sugar happy and you happy, and you can do what you need to do and
do what I need to do and not be cranky. And just like that, it just comes back to me just being intentional about it. Like I think if I want to get to where I'm going, I just can't wing it. That worked before and that was fun and it was exciting, but now that doesn't work. I have to work at it.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we get older and older, our metabolisms we have to put more effort towards them, I think.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other hormonal issues, whether, it's thyroid or other hormone. There's a lot of stuff, cortisol. Oh my golly, so many different things. So you really have to be really intentional, and it is a lot of hard work. But I think after you start doing it for a significant amount of time, like for where I am, it's really mindless, honestly.
Oh, good.
And you hit those go-tos, like fuel pull snack in the afternoon that I need quick. It's either going to be a cottage berry whip or a trimmy. Done.
Yes. Great.
And those are both simple. I can make both of those with my eyes closed. I do not need a cookbook for that. know, and just like I've taught you guys, everything that goes in your mouth does not have to come out of a cookbook. They're excellent. Whoa, are they excellent? But you do not have to. Like you can put together things once you understand what foods are what fuel, put things together and have a meal or a snack. I really think that's important. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good to know that after some time it does become second nature.
It's just like anything. I mean, the more children you have, the simpler it gets to make decisions. It's not easy parenting, but you still are more confident in things. And it's the same thing with Trim Healthy Mama, you know. So, but it is effort. You'd have to put some effort.
Yeah, it is. For sure. Absolutely.
I mean, it can be hard to be a Trim Healthy Mama where you're having to plan and say no to things, but it's also hard to be unhealthy.
It is.
So you have to decide.
I know. You got to figure, yes, it is hard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So what are some of your go-to meals for breakfast? I know we talked a little bit about your Ezekiel. Do you pretty much stick to that?
I do. And I also like the chocolate covered cherry shake.
Oh yes. I love that one. Do you use the THM cherry extra?
I do.
Oh yeah. Hallelujah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the only one that I have. I don't have all of them.
Yeah.
And it is a great shake.
It's excellent. Yes.
Yes. And then the Yuck Yum Bitty. I like that. And I did it. I think I messaged you about, I forgot to double ferment my kefir and it just made it an E, no big deal.
Right.
And so that one's really good. And I did, one of the things you talked about in buds was prepping, and you got those little Walmart
cups. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I got those and that makes it super easy. So I don't have to think about it too much.
You go, girl.
So those are my 3 main ones. Not a big breakfast person.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the 3 that I pretty much have rotated towards, I think.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. That's great. I love that chocolate covered cherry shake. You got me wanting one.
It is.
I have to take one with me to get my hair did.
You might have to.
We say that here. I'm going to get my hair did. It's just kind of a silly thing. It's kind of silly. So y'all, if that bothers you, I'm sorry. Just keep on scrolling. I don't know. But
I love
why
it.
not? Oh, it's just something silly to say. If Serena and Pearl can call their podcast a potty, I can say I'm getting my hair did.
You're getting your hair did, girl.
I'm a star. So funny. Okay, what about lunches? What are some go-to lunches for you? Real easy. I think we're on the same wavelength though, as to how we eat though. I think we are.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'll do a turkey sandwich on just sprouted bread, or I was doing the pizza skillet that you have talked about, but then the other day I discovered it on that Mission tortilla. And I know it's kind of a personal choice. So I'm kind of just seeing how that plays out, but that was great.
Yeah.
That was like.
Yeah. So Rashida's pesto pizza in Trim Healthy Future is on a tortilla, and it is so good.
Well, because I've seen that somewhere in your info, so I'll have to try that.
It's so good.
So I'll do those. Pizza skillet is that's an easy one for me. We always have pepperoni. We always have cheese. And that's it. Those are the three. It's pretty simple. Great. Yeah.
That's how I just did a class on making THM sustainable for you. And I love that. Like, you pick your things and those are what you do.
Right.
You don't have to have 40 options for lunch.
No. And then dinners, I like to shake it up and try new recipes. And that's when I will really look at your live in the kitchens. Like, we did the Faker Tot casserole.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that is, my son really likes the sauce that goes on top. And then I think this week, I just watched your Zaghetti.
Yeah, baked spaghetti.
Yes, so I think I'm gonna try that this week. Let me turn that off real quick. So that's when I'll experiment there.
Good. Yeah, baked spaghetti is from Trim Healthy Future also. That's where she does.
Yeah. So I was putting that on the list. So yeah, that's trying to think. I think one of the things that I was doing wrong before is I would add a slice of sprouted bread to my S meal because it had 10. It was under 10. It was, and you were like, that's really heavy. And I mean, I did that. I was doing that for 3 years, I think. Wow. So yeah, I just didn't know. I figured 10 or less.
So ingredients trump numbers.
Okay.
So you're putting bread in an S meal. So it's just best to leave it out. I'm not trying to be ugly when I say this, but let's not manipulate foods just to squeeze them in. It says in the plan book that you could have a small enough bite of a Snickers bar that the numbers would work, but the ingredients are not, what we need. Now, sprouted bread would be on plan, but it's still carbs, right?
Right.
And you do have carbs in some other things that might have been in your egg meal, especially if you had berries or something like that.
Sure.
Or some other like onions and peppers. So you really did cross over. You just didn't. And actually with the piece of bread, it would be an S helper. So it's an S meal with a half portion of carb.
Okay.
It's still not weight loss friendly though.
Right. And it just, those little things. And the other thing that I honed in on is just be more mindful of when you did your little nuts and chocolate chips, measuring those out, because that's real easy to go over on with your numbers. And like Palmer's jelly, that's so yummy to me. And I could easily just really overdo that.
Yeah.
Without a problem at all. So just kind of being mindful, like it says 1 tablespoon, let's just stick with that. So yeah.
So what would you say your biggest struggle that you had to overcome with Trim Healthy Mama? And this can be from your whole journey.
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I feel like my first time before I got pregnant with Francie, it was really easy. Like it just took it. I just felt like the weight just kind of came off and I ate cheesecake, it was just fun. I mean, I ate that all day. I mean, I think I counted my hours, but it just was no big deal. And then this time around, I would say my biggest struggle, I think it's being intentional. Like I kept thinking it would just take time, but I think if the scale isn't moving or inches or anything isn't happening, then it's not time. Does that make sense for me? That you need to tweak, you need to get a coach. I wish I would have found you sooner. I think because I spent a good year or more kind of frustrated. Because
it's pretty incredible though that you kept trying. Most people just give up.
Right. Yes. No, I'm very persistent. That's one thing. Because I knew it worked. It worked before. So it had to work. Why wouldn't it work this time? And I think this one time you were talking to us in buds and it was not even a question that it wasn't going to work. You were like, oh yeah, we're going to get there. I'm like, she does not know me. She does not know how long I've been at this. And this is not just going to happen. And it did. I was like, oh my gosh, she's done this before.
A few times.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was really encouraging because I think I was like, this might just be where I'm supposed to be, but I wasn't happy with where I was. So yeah, I think just being intentional and mindful, and I would not wait to get a coach. I think if you've stalled and it's been 3 or 4 months, I would just
get some help.
You need something. Something's missing, and maybe you're having a piece of bread with your S meals and you don't know it. I don't know,
Yeah,
but it's something.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that would be my advice. Don't just stay there for a year and hope.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share with them? I know you
Um,
read a lot of notes, so I don't want to lose any
Gosh,
gold.
I just wrote my whole life down here. I don't really know. Let's see. Did I say anything else? No, I think I got everything. Yeah.
Do you have any last minute advice for newbies?
Oh, for newbies.
The new ones.
Well, I guess, okay. So when I first started, like I thought £1 a month wasn't a lot, but they said like was that 0.2, a little bit more than 0.2 a week.
That's
like
right.
anything is better than nothing.
That's right.
And just keep going. I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't, I know people lose however much weight in 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't think that's sustainable.
Right.
It's not healthy. Like this really does last. Like once it comes off, it does.
But it's a lifestyle that you have to keep on doing. You can't go back to what you were doing and think you're going to keep it off, because you'll be right back where you started.
Totally.
Yeah. But people think that all the time.
Little nibbles, like those are just no. You just no. You can't do those, because then it's just the cravings, like all of it. You just go all in, do it. And if you aren't losing after a couple months, then I mean, your program's very affordable. Like I know getting a full-time coach, that would be out of my range, but Buds was completely doable. Blooms is doable, and it keeps me, headed the right direction.
Right.
So,
and I mean, other coaches charge different things too.
Okay.
So, other ones might not be as much as my one-on-one is. And so definitely look into that. And, if that's something that some of y'all need, I encourage you to. There's a ton of that are excellent, that are just excellent.
Oh, good.
Being able to help if someone needs one-on-one help. Absolutely. Mine is a little more expensive.
Well, and I thought that was just the go. I hadn't even researched. So, but I also think it would be, if it is more, and actually, I don't know if it is expensive, but our budget's just tight. So for me,
you got a million kids, I understand.
Yeah, it's like, we can't do that. But I think the time that I would, this is just a really good fit for me. Good. At this point. Yeah.
And not everybody loves a group setting either, and so that's what's so beautiful about the THM coaches. What they offer is like, there's something for everybody. There really is. Yes. Like I have $10 Zoom classes, and you can literally listen to what I have to say. Yes. And if you're live, you can ask any question you want.
Yes.
THM related topic of that night, or THM related. I open the floor every Wednesday night. So if you just have a few questions, I could literally answer them for $10.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And that's why I did it. I wanted to reach that other set of ladies that either they're hesitant to dive in and spend all the money, or they don't have a lot of time and that kind of thing. So that's why I did it. I want to have something for everybody, Well,
and with your Blooms, I mean, I don't know what it's like to have a personal coach, but it feels very personal, because you're very responsive. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm kind of on my own doing it. And that's what I like about it, is I feel like I'm with people that are moving towards the same thing. And it helps me.
Y'all are a precious group. Y'all are precious. Oh my gosh. I love all y'all so much.
Oh,
I love all my people. But my Blooms, I will say it's a little more special, I guess, because y'all have been with me for so long. I mean, there's girls in there that have been with me for over a year, some 18 months. There might be one that's been off and on 2 years or that kind of thing, but it's very special. That's very special to me that y'all stay.
That's great. Gosh, I wish I would have known about it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. My coaching wasn't that stellar when I first started.
Oh, I bet it was. just the information you've gathered and the way you've taken the book and broke it down to like be tangible is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you
good
so
job.
much. Thanks.
You're getting people there.
I am. I'm getting them there. It's gonna take a minute. You gotta trust me. Yeah, those buds, when we start up, May 22nd is when the next one starts. You know, they're gonna have to ditch the scale.
Yeah.
Bless them. And they're just gonna have to trust me and trust the plan. You know, that's what I'm gonna tell them.
I know, and it does work.
It does.
It does work.
Yeah. So I got to put that little work in, the effort and all the things. And, you know, this afternoon, well, in about 15 minutes in what's happening in real life right now, my buds, my spring buds will be sharing their progress. And I shared, it was a little meme of a little baby going, you know, like she's so excited.
Yes.
My God, those are some of my favorite things. Just
I bet that is exciting on your end.
So exciting.
I bet that is. I hadn't thought about that. Yes.
It is. Yeah. And then my blooms, on Sunday, y'all will have your first of the month post.
Okay.
So that you can share your progress, you know, and then somebody might be getting a sticker. So for my clients, I have stickers for goal weight, 10 pounds, 25 pounds, 50 pounds, 75 pounds, and 100 pounds. I haven't given away a 100-pound yet, but one of them is very close.
Yeah.
So,
someone on your
Brittany.
Yes. Is she the kindergarten teacher?
Yes. She's 83 pounds down. So
that's amazing.
And Janelle, I get to meet her Thursday at the beach. She's coming to the beach retreat. So excited.
Wonderful.
I cannot wait to hug her neck.
That's great.
Yeah. It's just a beautiful thing. The relationships that I get to make with these ladies. It's just really incredible.
Yeah.
It is.
It seems very rewarding.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I feel like we talked a lot about my coaching, but it is what it is.
Well, that's kind of what, I mean, yeah, I mean, before I started kind of getting involved with you in November, I mean, I probably wasn't really somebody you'd want to do a podcast with. Like, I just wasn't putting it all together very well.
Right.
You know, like it just,
I love it.
Yeah, I just started doing what you were saying, and I could tell I'm going to get there. It's falling into place.
You are. I'm so proud. Oh, do you exercise? I meant to ask you that.
I do. So I used to run a lot, but my hip doesn't like that anymore. So I do bar and Pilates and the Peloton. Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. And so with the Peloton, I can get my heart rate. I mean, I could get it up in bar and Pilates, but with the Peloton, like you can really get it up, and it doesn't bother my hips. So yeah, I do that probably 3 times a week if it's a good week.
Yep.
I'll do that. Yeah.
I hear you. Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
I can't believe I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. Yes. I hope that you enjoyed sharing with us, because I think we enjoyed.
Thank you for asking me. That was such a fun thing to be asked to do.
Of course. All right. Well, we hope y'all all have a great week. You want to tell them bye?
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.